Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bashim, Yahushai, Bashim, Rukakadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to the elect. Now, as you can see, I actually have a couple articles, but I'm going to start with this one. And as you can see, this is Sky News. New Army Special Operations Ranger Regiment to take on high threat missions overseas after integrated reviews. The Special Operations Brigade, known as the Ranger Regiment, will carry out missions traditionally taken by SAS and SBS. Actually, let's look at what they are. Alright, so here we have it. The SBS is a special boat service. The Special Boat Service is the Special Force unit of the United Kingdom's Royal Navy. So right here it tells you what it is. What about it? For edification purposes, the SAS. Yeah, the Special Air Service. As it tells you again what it is here. Back to the article. That's spiritual because, World War III is, been brewing in the air, with Russia and America, Iran, and all them different countries, brothers been doing lessons on articles. And now the UK, and now the UK is, seemingly starting to get, a bit more to the surface with it. This is good news. This is good news for us, man, because that means, there are redemption jars now, man, like the scripture says, man. So this is people of the world, they're unhappy. They're unhappy. They're gonna be if this, if the Lord had it where this was the kickoff, say late in the year, say November or something, they will be troubled because here is they want this, quote unquote COVID to go back to normal. This COVID to be finished and for it to go back to normal so they can continue doing wickedness, and then imagine this, they're gonna be troubled, man. That's when they're gonna start looking for answers, and if the Lord has it where if the Lord has it when it does happen, then they ain't gonna be able, they ain't gonna be able to find, the men of the Lord in that day, because we've been warning them, but they didn't take, for the most part, majority of them didn't take heed. A new Ranger regiment is being set up to complement the expertise of the SAS and take on high threat missions overseas. And you see this in quotation, so you already know that they're serious when they say high threat. So maybe things like so automatically that they're going to be used in the war, in World War III, which is quite obvious, but they've made it clear that they are to deal with high threats, so maybe on high scale terrorism and things of that nature. Under the new plans, 4 infantry battalions will become new regiments. Let's look up this word battalion, because oh, never mind, it's right. Actually, no, let's look at the meaning, because I was gonna look up how much is a battalion. Battalion. A large body of troops ready for battle, especially an infantry unit forming part of a brigade. So it tells you right here, a large organized group of people pursuing a common aim. A crowd, army, mob, throng, swarm. You have a swarm of flies, swarm of locusts. Will become the new regiment and be able to operate in environments usually reserved for special forces troops. The force would expect it to range from 2,000 to 4,000 soldiers. The Special Operations Brigade is being set up after the government's integrated review of foreign and defense policy published this week. A new, a new Security Force Assistant Brigade will also offer training and guidance to the Minister of Defense, said. Oh, the Minister of Defense said, Salaki. This is them, I'm going to guess this is them training out in the field. They have their guns, they have rounds. They will be routinely deployed around the world to support UK and allied nations' defense and security, a spokesperson added. Defense Secretary Ben Wallace said of the unit, which will get a share of 120 million funding, the best way to prevent conflict and deter our adversaries is to work alongside partners to strengthen their security and resilience. Chief of the General Staff, General Sir Mark Carlton Smith, described the new Army regiment as Vanguard, the Army's global footprint. The announcement comes after the government's integrated review revealed China to be the biggest threat to UK economic security, and Russia the greatest risk to defense. Because China and Russia, obviously they're teaming up. And Russia's back in Iran, which is spiritual, man. And America is almost like it wanted to play a bully. And Russia's like, nah. If you do like, they basically like, if you do something to Iran, if you trouble Iran, we're gonna trouble you, because America wouldn't, Israel's got America behind them, man. But all these other nations, man, like I said, all these other nations are going to turn on America, man. But I'll get into the scriptures after I read the second article, because it may be, more. It may be bring more to mind, because I don't really have much on my head right. Well, I have, what I mean, I do have scriptures on my head, but I just feel like the second article may bring more. I just have like a couple that come to mind. That one or two, something. The announcement comes after the government integrated review revealed. Oh, yeah, I've already read that. And I've not to mention, I have I got a friend in the army, the UK army. He's like he's about 3 years older than me. And he's a Jake. And the sad thing is, he's a Jake, man. Ah, at the end of the day, man, you do, you pray for your people, you ain't a monster, like, if I was to ever, tell this guy anything about the truth, I know this guy would literally, he would most likely, he probably spit on the ground. He probably spit on the ground and never talk to me again, man. Because this guy this guy is knowledge, like the scripture says. In fact, let me get that scripture. Because you know, and he's not a bad dude, well, according, he's not a monster, I would say, because the scripture said, Yahweh even said there's only one God, and that's the Father, man. But He's an alright guy. He in the army, and if he's still in there, and if he's still in there, well, he's not. He's training with them, and if he's still there, when Lord comes back, it's gonna be a horrible thing for him, man. Because he was driving tanks, man. They're training him to do it. Driving tanks and things of that nature. Right now, he's getting training. He gets his military discount when he goes to places. I remember one time we were out with him. I remember he came out with us. He got a discount for our place called Nando's. From some of you may know what that place is, but not getting into that too much. Election. I believe it's in Romans. I'm sure it's in Romans. Oh, yeah, it could be maybe 12 or something like that. I don't know. Oh, 11, yeah. What then? Israel have not obtained that which he seeketh for, but the election have obtained it, and the rest were blinded. You know. And that guy, he lived. I ain't gonna, cast shade on him, things of that nature, but he does live. But majority, it's wickedness they're dealing with, man. Like when I'm thinking about it, I can't even finish any of my sentences because I'm just it's running around my mind, man. They live wickedness. They go off the pagan holidays, for a basis, and they do all kinds of the wickedness, man. To be fair, I don't even know. I don't even know if he believes. I don't even know if he believes in the Most High. Yeah, I don't even know if he believes in Yahweh Shem Yahshua. Not in I know he won't have the names, but I mean, like how in Christianity they refer to as God and Jesus Christ. I don't even know. The 140-page document, which warns of a world marked by more conflict, division, and misinformation, made a number of dramatic policies. Let's go. Bingo. Division and misinformation made a number of dramatic policy changes described many as the biggest shake-up since the Cold War. So what's going on now is it's constantly being compared to the Cold War, constantly. And it's really war. It's constantly being compared to the Cold War, man. No, Lord willing, Lord willing, the Lord brings these prophecies quicker, man, faster, man. But you have to pray to hasten the day, because that's the only way that's the way we're gonna get out of here, man. And when like the scripture says, in fact, nah, I'm just going with the spirit, man. When ye shall see all these things come to pass, then lift up your heads, for your redemption draweth nigh. Why did it say he? Or correct or something like that? Yeah, I got it here. Hold on, man. Not you. It's lucky. I'll start 25. And there shall be signs in the sun and in the moon and the stars and upon the earth distress of nations with with perplex with perplexity, the sea and the waves roaring, men's heart failing them for fear, because they ain't gonna know what's going on. They ain't gonna have the answers, so they're gonna be wilding out. They're gonna be like, what's going on? Running about. You could even imagine it. The nations being in mourning and running. Like, wondering why is this going on? And looking after those things which are coming on the earth, For the powers of heaven shall be shaken, and then shall they see the Son of Man coming in a cloud with power and great glory. And when these things shall begin to come to pass, then look then look up and lift up your heads, for your redemption draweth nigh. Yeah, like the scripture says. Like the scripture says, I gotta read this one again. It's Luke 21 and 28. And when these things be, begin to come to pass, then look up and lift up your heads, for your redemption draweth nigh, man. You know, we are happy that these things are coming to pass, because it means that Yahweh return is closer than we thought, man. Like, get the scripture, man. For our salvation is near when we first believe, like the Apostle Paul said. So like, it was Romans 39. And knowing that, and knowing that, and that knowing the time that now is, that now it is high time to awake out of sleep. We know what time it is, you know. We know what time it is, man. But the T says, and the T says, and the rest of them, they ain't got the knowledge that we have, man. Yahweh Bashim Yahushai opened up our eyes. It is high time to wake out of sleep, for now is our salvation nearer than when we first believed. Back to the article. These included reversing planned reduction in nuclear warheads and preparing for future pandemics or global emergencies. It's also indicated a tilt towards the Indo-Pacific region, focused on strengthening diplomatic trade links. Is that it? Okay, bear with me. I'm gonna get the second article. Yeah, this was one that caught my eye earlier. I don't know how much there is to read, but I wanna read it. World War III warning: Boris pledges billions in race for groundbreaking hypersonic missiles. So you already know that all these nations, they're putting their strength in their arms, man. You have Iran, Russia, you have all these different countries. They're strengthening their military power, as we just read earlier. They got a new regimen, and now he's promising billions in raise for groundbreaking hypersonic missiles. With Russia With Russia and China advancing their own military capabilities, the UK would now look to pursue the latest technologies such as hypersonic missiles. In integrated review, the UK will also develop laser weapons in what has been termed as high-risk research, announcing the review on the UK's defence forces in the Commons. The Prime Minister claimed the new goals in the review are the most important since the Cold War. So he's already telling you that we gotta get these hypersonic missiles because they're important. According to the Daily Telegraph, a further £6.6 billion will now be committed to developing new technology. All these different nations are building their arms, developing their arms. You have to stop and if okay, say you don't believe what we're saying, you have to sit back and think. Okay, why would they be doing this? If there was no fear of any conflict. I don't mean like that. I mean if there was no chances of war, because back in I believe it was last year January or something like that. there was there was this rumor um going around a circle in the UK saying that there was major bomb um um different places that were gonna get bombed and things of that nature. And you should have seen how the kids my age, they were scrambling, man. They were saying, "Oh, I gotta do this. Oh, I'm not gonna die. I'm not gonna die a virgin. We, just, they just wanted to, what was that? What's that word? Multiply and multiply and forward with their wickedness, man. They wanted to increase it because they thought they thought at that time that they had a little time left. A government source claimed the pursuit A government source claimed the pursuit of developing new technology was to make the UK's forces more effective in the world. Speaking to the House this week, Mr. Johnson said, "The greater our unity at home, the stronger our influence abroad, which will in turn open up new markets and create jobs in every corner." The UK not only maximizing opportunities for the British people, I hope a sense of pride that their country is willing to follow in its finest traditions and stand up for what is right. You know, for those of you who may not know, this done is Boris Johnson, the one in the suit. You know, with extra investment and new capabilities of integrated review, I believe the United Kingdom can thrive in an ever more competitive world. The US and Russia have so far led the race for this state of the art of hypersonic missile. In a warning to Russia, Mr. Biden is set to unveil the new missile, which is capable of traveling 20 times the speed of sound. Now that's funny, man, because Biden is trying to give a warning to Russia, but Russia, Russia's one thing I noticed about Russia, right? Russia is quiet, man. You don't hear like Russia be doing their business, man. You won't really hear much from Russia, man. You- It's Putin, man. Even these small countries, they be talking up to America, man, because they ain't scared because they got the bigger countries like they got the bear, which is Russia, and they got Moab. So these countries, they're not afraid to talk up to America. Iran, because Iran ain't afraid of America because it knows it's backed by Russia. It's backed by Russia and China as well. In fact, a test of the AGM-183A air-launched rapid response weapon, or it says ARW. It would be arrow, but it doesn't have the O. It's set to take place in the next month in a warning to Russia. Following the announcement of the UK's new Defence Secretary, Foreign Secretary Dominic Raab claimed Russia and China are active threats. Mr. Raab also stated the UK was clear-sighted over China, which the Prime Minister warned was now a threat to the UK. And if you know when they say about the UK, you would know that those Moabites here. They often come over here. They often come over here. I don't know. I'm not 100% sure. If it's most likely deals though, because but you always see, but you especially in schools, they go over to the schools, they be speaking to their teachers and things like that. You know, I just based on my experience, because I've seen them a lot of time. He told Sky News China is here to stay. It is a disproportionately large and growing economic power. And Moab, they're getting proud, man. But you're not gonna be the next superpower, man. Israel is gonna be the next superpower, man. And we ain't never gonna go down. Of course, jobs rely on it in this country. We want to continue to trade and investment is important. At the same time, we will never do anything that puts at risk the integrity of our infrastructure, our telecommunication, or anything like that. Although the review was unveiled as the biggest since the Cold War, the Foreign Secretary insists the government would not take on the mentality of the era. He added, I don't think it would be feasible to go into some old outdated Cold War mentality with China. In a future move to increase UK's military capabilities, the government will also increase the country's nuclear warhead capacity. Although doesn't the scripture say you that you'll hear wars and rumors of wars? According to figures, the UK will now stockpile 260 nuclear warheads as opposed to 180 as reported by Guardian. The review as a minimum credible, independent nuclear deterrent assigned to the defense NATO remains essential in order to guarantee our security and our allies, as well as increasing the nuclear warhead stockpile. The UK will also shift to more Asia-Pacific viewpoint following China's increased strength in the region. Um, yeah, that's the end of the article. Let me see if I can get any scriptures. This is one. It's a one that I think it's a good one. Matthew 24:7. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famine and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places. Well, one, I get that scripture, to do with America. Wait, hold on. And this is 16, And the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore. And the whore that he's talking about is the daughter of Babylon, aka America. And shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire. That's why all these other countries, they have these nuclear weapons, man, because it's all gearing up. This wasn't this. I had them couple more scriptures, but they I can't really think of them at this moment in time. Hold up, it's like bear with me. This is one I could use, but I can't. For some reason, I can't put my finger on which one it was that I was going for at first. But this is Isaiah 34:8. For it is the day of the Lord's vengeance, and the year of recompenses for the controversy of Zion. And the streams thereof shall be turned into pitch, and the dust thereof into brimstone, and the land thereof shall become burning pitch. It shall not be quenched day nor night. The smoke thereof shall go up forever, from generation to generation. It shall lie waste, none shall pass through it forever and ever. But the cormorant and the bittern shall dwell in it, and shall stretch out upon it, the line of confusion and the stones of emptiness. They shall call it the nobles thereof to the kingdom, but none shall be there, and all her princes shall be nothing. So I'll close it out here. In closing, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahushai, Ba'ashim Rekakadash. I want to say the water to all you who listen, listen and learn. I pray that this was edifying. May the blessing of election be upon your house. Shalom.